terrific reception for both players. Probably Stuart edges it simply because he's got a lot of his fans in from around the Basildon
Cameras
area.
away now, please. Frame 9, John Higgins to break.
When you have a lead of 5-2, you're sitting there and you're thinking, I just hope I can get in the balls with a chance. He didn't get any chance in the previous frame. And he's come up a little bit short with his safety here. Okay, the black's not available into the right corner. But anyway, you can't see that red. Blue's covering it, so just a good and hopefully telling safety shot is what he's after. And once again, a red, the right side of the table there is just in a little bit of an awkward position for the safety route back down. Shouldn't be too awkward though. Now, let's have a look. I think there's going to be a gap. Oh, there's not a gap through. And it's not a big pocket. I mean, he'd have to move this if he didn't plant it in. He'll have to play the red. The two to the left side of the table, the one that's furthest away from the cushion. Take that and hope that you might knock the plant in, but screw back for safety as well. And that's was the first shot that he looked at. He spotted something else now. Yeah, he's still going to try and plant this red onto the one over the pocket. But there's a lot of balls covering that red. So whether he tried the plant there or not, he knew if he got the white anywhere in that vicinity, it was going to be covered. But Stuart might be able to send a red onto it and make the plant. The 1-2 from the pink. Good cue ball though. Have to be careful here, Ken, because those two reds I think are a plant for the left corner, so he's got to make sure. There you can see them, so he's got to make sure he keeps the white over the right side of the table so that he doesn't leave that on.
I think he might be trying to leave the cue ball down this end of the table. Doesn't want it going in off. Oof. Well, the only good thing about that shot was that he knocked the plant offline as he hit the red going towards the pocket with the cue ball. Yeah, he's knocked the plant offline, so. Stuart really would like to get the cue ball over the left-hand side of the table as we look down the yellow side. Just makes the path much more difficult for John Higgins. You see down this side is not going to be too much of a problem for John Higgins. And what he'll try and do now, if he can somehow get that cue ball over the other side of the table, as long as he doesn't Knock a red towards this left-hand corner pocket. He'll have Stuart Bingham in a lot of trouble here. Well, he's played it up the right-hand side and he's made a good job of it. But that was the problem with that shot, wasn't it, Dennis? The fact that he was down that right-hand side. If he had the cue ball on the left-hand side, he had these two reds as blockers should anything have gone over this left-hand corner pocket. But this is certainly far from easy. Good pot. Wasn't worried about the next ball because obviously didn't want to try and screw it back in the balk. Just a good safety shot here now.
Bramble. Stuart Bingham 1.
This is the last thing that John Higgins wanted, this type of frame. After making 120 in the previous frame, he wanted to try and get in early, but it's turning out to be a bit of a scrappy frame, but it's just as important as the previous one was. Doesn't matter whether you win them scrappy or with one visit, as long as you win them. No, he's looking at a shot here. He'll have safety in mind, but he's looking at the possibility of hitting a red, sending it off another red, and then in off the one that's nearest the pocket. Very ambitious, Stuart. But yeah, he's coming around to have another look at it. See if he hits that and it cannons the other red. Would it go in off the one that's near the pocket? Nah, surely you can't pull that off. Wow, this will be some shot. I'll tell you what a shot he pulled out there.
1.
Great call, Dennis. Fantastic shot. Have a look at this again. Very well worked out, wasn't it?
And the ball's a much better place now because he disturbed quite a few there. And all of a sudden,
3.
Stuart has a chance. I said, you're sitting there when you've got a lead of 2 or 3 frames. You just think, please give me one chance and let me try and clinch the match.
4.
And this is that chance. Can he take it?
Spots covered, black spots covered, so it'll go on the highest available, which is the brown. And I'm sure the black
10.
does pot. If it doesn't, he can go back for the blue here. But he'd love to eventually clear up that black spot. He's got a bit of work to do here.
I like that shot though, Ken, because the pink will come back onto its own spot again. That was a clever shot.
17.
Yeah, just coming around to have a look at that red and black. He's thinking a few shots ahead here, so red. Red and then pink, you would say. Then try and leave
18.
an angle. He's a little bit straight this time.
Well, if he does go on to score enough here to clinch this match, he started it with one of the
24.
shots of the tournament. It has to be said that opening pot was fabulous.
$25.
I think he's got a nice angle on the pink now. Yeah, he could leave a nice angle. After potting this pink on the red, he can pot the red and move the red away from the black. So we had a few options. Settled it nicely. Pot the red, stunned the red away from the black.
31.
Open the black into both corner pockets.
32.
And all the time here, Dennis, he's building a nice lead, isn't he?
Yeah, I
39.
think he surprised John with that opening pot as well. They just don't come any better than this. I mean, that was fantastically worked out, really was. He's looking like a world
40.
champion now, Stuart Bingham. It's getting a little bit more difficult now.
Shoot.
And this might develop. Well, it looks as if he
47.
may just have to cannon him, which will help the situation. 52 ahead, 5-3 in front. He will play Ronnie O'Sullivan if he can clinch this frame, and we know what he did to Ronnie in the World Championship quarter-final. Now then, it's gone wrong.
48.
It's going to have to be a very tough pink if he even thinks about it. He might even decide to push the pink safe or the black safe. I think the pink safe would be the best choice. I mean, if he's just having a little think about it. I think the pink safe and a good cue ball.
Ping pong. Stuart Bingham, 48.
Nice 48 break. He's left John a tempter here. One red will pot. Will he take it on?
That could be the end. Well, having said that, look where the red's gone, right next to the black, but he can get round onto the blue off this. He's 53 ahead, so he's not that many pots away from securing this match. That might be John's last shot played in this year's Masters.
He had him in all sorts of trouble, didn't he? Imperative he gets him high enough on the blue here.
Thank you.
Oh, well, he may be okay.
One.
Blue into the yellow. And if you're ever going to get a kiss on the blue, then you want a full ball kiss like that, don't you?
Oh, that's a cracker, because he's just got to screw it back a little bit, and he's got that easy red to the left of the pink spot, so it was a useful nudge on the blue there.
There you see it, 59 ahead, 67 remaining.
6.
This red. And John Higgins will need snookers.
7.
And he hasn't beaten this man since 2012. He's beaten John on 2 occasions. John's won 8 times. And this is the revenge for his defeat against John in the Masters a good few years back. Need to be careful he doesn't touch the black. Yeah, it was a couple of seasons ago that John beat Stuart. Two snookers needed at the moment, so he's not risking fouling the brown with his waistcoat.
Well, Bingham, 12.
Barring 2 snookers, it's the world champion that's going through to the semi-final to play the Rocket tomorrow night.
One. Six.
2 4-point snookers needed to tie at the moment.
John Higgins, 6.
That's a snooker, but it's a pretty easy one to escape from. But Stuart still wants to be careful. He doesn't want to leave John a chance to pot 2 reds and 2 blacks and then look for those 2 snookers. Well, I'm not sure what he's done there. I think he's just more or less given up now, John. He made a break of 120 and a 60, but he's been off colour tonight, has to be said. But Stuart's played really well. Every credit to him. And that definitely seals it. He's got a lot of support here, this popular world champion. And he'll be feeling so much better now. It's a great feeling when you've clinched a match and you're just walking around, just going through the motions of clearing up. There's no pressure on you. And he'll be feeling absolutely delighted with himself. And that's just letting it go. John Higgins comes forward and congratulates Stuart Bingham. It's only his 3rd victory against John. They played each other 10 times, but what an important win for this very popular world champion. And Stuart Bingham, in the end, wins the match quite comfortably, 6 frames to 3.
Top man.
Well, we've had a cracking day of snooker. We'll be back again at 1 o'clock, and it's Barry Hawkins taking on Judd Trump, who was sensational today. So you don't want to miss that one. Good night.